we finally made it into the Carson National Forest.
A coyote just bounded off into the border of the woods over there.
Wild horses in the wild. Did we just seriously find the most epic camp ever? I don't know, we may spend more than one night here, I don't know.
There is an eagle, probably a golden eagle, right at the top of that tree.
I don't know where this came from.
So Aaron just crashed his drone up into this tree.
That is a long way down. So I think at this point, it's finally safe to say that Taylor and I are seasoned travelers. At our core, adventure and exploration remains a big part of our lives, and over the years, we've gained a lot of experience. In the past, we've traveled through the Western landscapes, and we've even taken our travels internationally to Africa. And this year, we find ourselves asking, what's next? So this summer, we've decided to take our adventures to a place we often take for granted and explore treasures right here in our own backyard, here in New Mexico. So cue the cinematic drone shots, and let's go. Well, we have finally made it into the Carson National Forest. We've gone ahead and aired down the tires of the 4Runner, and we have a few miles ahead of us to go before we get to our potential campsite. This is the first time we've actually been in this wilderness, so we're not really sure what to expect or what we're going to be running into, but we are here, and so are you, and we're all going to experience it for the first time. It's been a while since we posted anything over on our YouTube channel just because a lot of things have been happening over the past 2-3 months, and a lot of life changes have happened. A lot of life changes kind of are in the middle of happening, and it's just kind of all jumbling together. And we're just kind of not really knowing what we're going to be doing, but we're just kind of here to have fun with it. So we've gone ahead and taken this weekend. We have a couple days to just kick back. We're very laid back about this, and we're just going to be exploring the Carson National Forest. I've kind of always wanted to do a what's in my backyard type of travel series, I guess you could say, because we've gone to a lot of other places around the country, and we've even gone to Africa as well, but we never really sat down and went into detail about what all is here in New Mexico. So I figured, you know what, might as well enjoy it while we have it. So we're going to go ahead and get back in the 4Runner and look for our campsite. All right, Kinsey, you ready to go? You ready to go back in the car? Go find a campsite? Yeah? All right, let's go. Come on.
Up, up. Oh my goodness, you're heavy.
So the weather this recent past month has been pretty dry up here, but there's no fire danger. Over the mountains, just on the other side to the west a little bit, is a controlled burn going on, but we're not really concerned with it at the moment. I don't think it's anywhere near us or has any potential to develop to anything bigger. The south of New Mexico, though, is another story, and everything there is a lot drier, so it was kind of the decision to go north here. Needless to say, the weather lately has been nothing but sun. We have no clouds whatsoever, and it's just been day after day of this, so really hot and very sunny, shiny, and I'm hoping that maybe these clear skies can persist, and maybe, just maybe, I can get some good photos of the Milky Way tonight. Just maybe. There's a small chance.
With your brand new camera.
With my brand new camera, that is right. Which is another topic, another thing that has changed. But maybe we'll talk about that later.
When I was young, my daddy said, gotta keep one eye open in your bed. 'Cause there's a time coming when the devil gonna come for you. So my trigger finger, stay prepared. I've got my weapon and I got my prayers. 'Cause if you don't run this town, they'll walk all over you. Run out loud, gotta run on. Keep on running till the sun goes down. Run out loud, better run on. Run all day till you can't be found. Run out loud, gotta run on. Keep on running till the sun goes down. You can outrun the devil, but you ain't gonna outrun me. You ain't gonna outrun me. You ain't gonna, you ain't gonna, you ain't gonna outrun me. When I was younger, my mama said, gotta make your green and you'll be seeing red. 'Cause if you ain't got none, well, nobody gon' come for you. She would tell me tales that would leave me scared. So I made sure to get it through my head. I'm either gonna run this town or walk all over you.
A coyote just bounded off into the border of the woods over there, and then a second one followed it. There's a calf right there, and I'm pretty sure that's what the coyotes were going after before we disturbed their whole hunting party.
This trail is starting to close in and getting a little bit tighter and a little more technical, but it's actually getting kind of fun too. I love these kind of trails.
You ain't gonna, you ain't gonna, you ain't gonna outrun me.
Okay, so as you came down here to film the car coming down, I felt this hit my foot out of the dash.
What is that?
It's a bolt from somewhere. We're gonna have to take a look and make sure nothing's missing underneath.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. The car hasn't broken, but I assume it was probably already loose, and it likely just fell out through all the vibration and shaking that we went through on that super tight trail.
Okay.
But yeah.
But you don't know where it came from.
I don't know where this came from. So we gotta figure
Good.
that out. And the good news is that I think the technical part of the trail, I think, is pretty much done for, because it's now opened up into this really massive clearing. I think we're okay there. So we're not far away from where I think we can find a good campsite. So let's get back on the trail and see if we can make it back to the campsite, and then maybe figure out where the heck this thing goes.
All right. Popper, you're being very disruptive. We were like right on top of it.
There's something else right there.
Oh my gosh, really? All the way out here?
No, it's
No,
water.
no, that's
I see
water. It's water.
I see water. Did we just seriously find the most epic camp ever that nobody knows exists? Oh my goodness. We have a freaking flowing creek right there, literally in the middle of the forest. Nobody's even on these roads. Most of these roads are completely overgrown, and it is insanely difficult to find a creekside camp in New Mexico, which is, let alone a remote creekside camp, because typically camps like that are always jam-packed with people, overcrowded and trashy. But this is a secret hidden gem that we have just discovered, and I could not be happier about it. Man. Oh,
I'm gonna
so
have to
happy.
get out to get a good view of it. The windshield's a little bit
I know.
bleh.
Let's find some level ground. I mean, You didn't make it. Wow, holy cow. This place is just really, really awesome. This is truly a awesome hidden gem. What do you think?
This is probably one of the best hidden campsites that we've found before. This is a favorite. Although, the mosquitoes might be a thing.
The mosquitoes might get us, yeah. So, Forerunner is parked right over there at the moment. We'll probably find a better level spot to park it where we can pitch the tent, but we just have this really awesome stream just running right down through this canyon here. And you could just not ask for a better view. Wow.
All alone.
All alone, nobody here. We have everything to ourselves. We didn't pass a single person coming in on this particular trail. Most of the people we passed were over on the ATV trails that are closer to the highways, miles and miles back in. But we are like smack deep in the middle of the forest, and wow, it pays off. More technical trails result in fewer people you run into and better views all the time, every time. It's just awesome. I just keep finding myself just speechless about this spot. But right now we need to focus on finding a good level spot, preferably right next to the creek where we can set up camp. That's the word I was trying to think. Oh my goodness.
Maybe hang up a hammock.
Hanging a hammock, yes, that is also a priority. When we first pulled around the corner coming into here, I saw the reflection of the water, and I actually originally thought it was like the roof of another car. And I was almost going to be like really crushed if somebody else was going to be here. But turns out this is it. This is our whole home. For the next couple of days. I don't know. We may spend more than one night here. I don't know.
It's pretty nice.
It is very nice. I don't know if we could beat this.
I'm kind of thinking that we cannot beat this with another campsite around here. So we might end up missing out if we decide to pack up tomorrow and try to find another place to camp, because I don't think there's going to be two of these within a reasonable driving distance.
Okay, so after a bit of debating and searching around, we settled on this little spot right here to pitch our tent. So we have a nice creek front view with a wonderful sunset that's about to happen here over the mountains. And then we're gonna go ahead and get the camp set up, get the hammock out, get the kitchen set up, get on dinner, and man, we just got the rest this evening to ourselves, so we're gonna own it. since we had camping fajitas.
Yes, it is.
Of course, it's also been a while since we've kind of been camping. We went from really cold weather to really beautiful summer weather. Yeah, that guacamole makes everything. Okay, so it is now pitch black dark here in our campsite. We have a little bit of a fire crackling. I'm letting the wood just burn out into embers here. But stars are now starting to come out, and there is very minimal cloud cover. So there might be a good opportunity to introduce the newest camera in our kit, and I am now shooting all my photography on this Sony A7CR, which I have yet to fully utilize, but we're going to try it out tonight and see how well it works and see what results we can get from it. Now, you're probably wondering, wow, Aaron, I thought you shot on Canon all the time. And the reply I have is, yes, I used to shoot everything on Canon. I had Canon cameras, I had Sigma EF lenses, and the thing I learned about carrying all that massive amount of gear around is that it is freaking heavy. So I've actually this year switched my entire film kit into the Sony mirrorless camera lineup. So my main photography camera is now the Sony A7CR, and I'm actually doing all of my filmmaking ever since the start of this year on the Sony ZV-E1, which is what you're seeing right now, because it has some apparently absolutely incredible low light performance, and we figured I might put that to the test right here, right now, with this short little clip here that's only lit by the dome lights of the rear hatch here of the 4Runner, which I'm probably going to upgrade these to LEDs at some point. I don't really like the yellow light, but that's a project for another time. So there's not really any way for me to film myself in the dark for astrophotography, but I'm just going to go ahead and set this up and just probably crash in bed and enjoy the last little bit of fire that I have here. And I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. So last night we had a pretty good night's rest. It was really nice, a little cold. I think it probably got down into high 40s, low 30s, somewhere around there, but it wasn't too bad. We had 2 down blankets with us, so that really worked nice. And I stayed up late getting that time lapse of the Milky Way going through, and I was honestly just blown away with the quality that I got. I've never gotten something that so clear on a camera before, let alone a compact camera. So I'm really impressed with the Sony a7CR, and yeah, I feel like I made a smart decision when I bought that camera. So I can't wait to see what else I get to shoot with it. And yeah, that was just an awesome view of the Milky Way. Perfect. Everything was lit by starlight. I was not expecting to get any details in the campsite or the car or the trees, and that camera was pulling those details out no problem at all. And it was awesome. So that is my photography camera from here on out, and I do not feel bad one bit about it. So meanwhile, this morning we're just getting up and we're just taking it easy. Not a whole lot going on. We don't have really any plans today. We were thinking of maybe exploring out on the trails a little more, but we're liking this spot so much, we're thinking we just might stay here another night, but I don't know, we'll see. We'll see where things go.
It's weird how many graves we find out here doing these trails. We don't normally record them, but this one we have. It's just one of many. People that come out here and know these places just prefer to be buried out in the middle of nowhere. More peaceful.
Buried or just marked. It's not a bad place.
It's got a nice view.
I guess Taylor and I aren't really the only ones that have found this peaceful, secluded, and beautiful place here. And, you know, like Taylor says, a lot of times we do find markers out in the middle of nowhere like that. And it is kind of interesting. Makes you wonder what their stories are, where they're from, how they lived. And just a little something of them left behind for us travelers to stumble across as we go about this world. In all honesty, I don't think you could pick a better spot to want to be remembered at. That's pretty good. Taylor and I have been traveling all over the place with this hammock that we have, and we've only used it one other time when, where was it? It was in Montana? I want to say it was Montana.
I don't remember.
Like, it's somewhere on our YouTube channel. I don't know where. But we've decided to set it up and try it out. However, the only trees near our campsite that can hold it are the 2 that cross the river.
I'm looking at it trying to figure out how I'm supposed to get in it. Because it's hanging right over the river. I don't know. I might just end up falling in. gonna touch the water?
No, you're clear.
Okay. I'm in a hammock
You're in a hammock.
over the water. It's pretty cool, actually. So Aaron just crashed his drone up into this tree. It's right, let's see, right up there. Focus. It's right up there. You cannot see it.
We're climbing it.
Yeah, climbing the tree.
We got it. Wow. So that is what's left of the drone. Good news, it still actually works. We're just missing a prop. I have no idea where that went. I actually had to climb all the way to that spot on the tree, and then I had to climb higher than it because I had to use my foot on the branch and shake it to drop it down. And that was about a 30-minute ordeal that we didn't really film. But we recovered the drone. This is the first major crash that we've actually recovered a drone from. And I'm actually kind of happy with myself, but I really don't ever want to do that again.
Please don't ever do that again.
No.
It's a really tall tree.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it was way up there. That's got to be at least 40 feet, maybe 45. I'm a terrible judge of measurements. But anyway, the drone is actually okay, still works. We're just missing a prop, and because of that, it's also a little scuffed up. But
You got enough shots, I think.
But you know what? I actually at least get to go home with a drone this time. So
The last 2 times we crashed drones, they disappeared.
they disappeared. Yeah. So we'll call this a major win this time. So yeah. Climbing that tree wasn't actually too hard. Coming down was the hardest part because your clothes and everything are snagging. And I actually spent probably the past 20 minutes just pulling sticks out of my hair, which was not fun. Anyway, let's not do that again. Okay, so I think we have probably had enough adventuring for today. I don't want to climb any more trees, but we still have that mystery bolt that fell out of the dash, and I got to figure out where it came from. I would hope that this is going to be a super easy repair and that I do not have to tear the dash apart, but we're going to find out here in just a minute. So I think I figured out where this bolt goes, and if we take a look underneath, get this to focus here. Yeah, so right there is a hole, which is the bottom mount that this block sits on, and it's pretty loose right now. I'm hoping that's threaded and it doesn't have a nut, because my fear is that if it has a nut, it probably fell down the backside of this plastic molding, and I'm gonna have to pull that out to get to it. But I'm hoping that's not the case and that there is threading on that hole. So apparently I do not have a 10mm socket, which is a bit of a problem because almost everything on a 4Runner is made out of these little 10mm bolts. So that is something I'm gonna have to add into my kit. I don't know where my sockets went. I lost my first one when I did the ham radio install on the Xterra when we made that video, and it just vanished. I have no idea where it went. And then my 10mm deep socket, I also have no idea where it went. I don't even remember the last time I saw that. So we're gonna have to pare down and come up with a much more functioning toolkit, especially for trail side repairs. and putting items in there that we need and being a little more selective about what we take with us on bigger expeditions, kind of like this one. But in the meantime, there's not much we can do about this bull, and thankfully it doesn't go to anything super critical. We're just gonna have to repair it when we get back to the house later this week. Oh, what a day. What a day.
Please don't ever climb a tree again.
It was fun. Let's be honest, that was fun.
Sure, it's fun up until you get to the point where if you fall out of the tree, you'll die.
But I didn't.
I'm sure you had a lot of fun climbing the tree.
I did.
I was sitting at the bottom of the tree very stressed out.
Yeah.
Watching you scale it.
So we are wrapping up our second day here at this really nice spot. I don't think I want to crash a drone again here, but we definitely want to come camping here again. And we're just kind of enjoying a little campfire that is currently blowing smoke into my face no matter where I move. Yeah, I'm gonna move. Yeah, just watch. It'll move back over here in just a second. This is going to be our last night here at this campsite, and I definitely think this is one we're going to be returning to in the future. Pretty excited about that. Something to look forward to. You know, it's always one thing when you see a spot on a map, and it's a completely different thing when you actually get there in person. It just, photos, images, maps, they just don't do it justice until you're actually on site like we are here. And this place is just absolutely amazing. We will definitely be returning here. And meanwhile, we're just gonna enjoy an evening fire. All right, so we are now in our tent, ready for tonight, and we'll be falling asleep to the sound of a creek for the last time. And I'm gonna miss it when we leave. What about you?
Yeah, me too. It's so much nicer than city sounds and sirens and dogs barking and everything else that you hear in a neighborhood.
Yeah. So we'll be going back to civilization here pretty soon, and I have a very sleepy dog right next to me, all curled up, licking himself.
Hey, he's got to do grooming before bed.
He's got to do grooming before bed. My headlamp is giving me that horror look, that lighting. Ooh,
Directly underneath.
Scary, yeah. All right, enough goofing off. I am tired and I want to go to sleep. So we'll be signing off, and we will see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, everybody. So it is currently just a little bit past 7 o'clock. Just woke up to my alarm going off and opened the windows to see this really awesome view out here. And man, it's never going to get old. Never. I think today we're going to be packing up camp and heading out, but I'm not sure entirely just yet where we're gonna go. I think we'll figure that out here in a bit. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna enjoy the early morning. Well, good morning again. You're live.
Yeah.
And you're actually coming out of the tent this early.
Well, it's not so freezing this morning.
No, it's actually kind of comfortable.
I only hide in the tent when I'm cold.
Oh, we got a ball this morning. We got a ball this morning.
an eagle, probably a golden eagle, right at the top of that tree, way over there. Oh, now it's flying away. Before I can get a look at it.
Oh man, yeah, he's gone.
I didn't get a chance to look at it. I pulled this out and everything.
And I pulled the camera out. I didn't even have time to set the adjustments on it.
Oh.
Hopefully I got him. I don't know. I think I got him flying away. We're not really sure if it was a golden eagle or a bald eagle. Definitely an eagle of some sort, though. We're not 100% sure, though, because these things just, they appear and they disappear. We did hear it.
It screeched very loud
Yeah,
up on top of the tree.
Yeah, it was very loud.
It was mad because other little bitty birds were going after it.
We are now back on the main thoroughfare road here in the Carson National Forest, and we are pushing further north. And the idea is that we want to go north and deeper into some more wooded areas where, rumor has it, there's a wild horse herd there, but they're very hard to find. We may not even see them. Last time Taylor and I came through here, we actually caught a glimpse of one, and it was too quick to get anything or get any pictures of it. But that was also the trip that the Xterra broke down, so not good memories associated with that. So we're gonna change that, as long as we don't break down. No
If we break down on that trail, we'll know the trail is cursed.
I know, it's gonna be a cursed trail. Anyway, we're gonna go through that, and then we're gonna cut across east and book it to Taos, where hopefully we're gonna get a bit of a late lunch, early dinner, or something like that, to wrap up our trip. So I'm kind of looking forward to the rest of the day.
Yep, me too.
Isn't that something?
Wild horses.
Wild horses in the wild. Well, we have finally wrapped up our off-roading for this trip, and we are about to hit the pavement again. So I'm going ahead and airing up the tires. We're on the last one here. I generally like to run on the highways at about 35 to 40, depending on, I guess, the temperature, I guess. I usually fill my tires up to 35 PSI, and then I notice through the odometer that they heat up to 40, or I guess as they heat up as I drive, they heat up to 40 degrees, or PSI, sorry. On the dirt roads, we like to air down, and whenever we hit the pavement, we air up just for the better gas mileage. When you air down on the dirt roads, you just get better traction and more surface contact area with the ground, which is great for those more sketchy situations that you may find yourself in. But we're almost done here, and then we'll make our way to Taos. And on our way there, we're actually going to be passing by the Rio Grande Gorge, and I believe that is going to be home to the tallest bridge in North America, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be pretty cool. All right, we are hitting the pavement yet again. Off to Taos. Wow. That.
We still can't see the bottom.
Yeah, you can't see the bottom from here. You still can't see it. Do you want to go walk on it?
Sure.
That is a long way down.
It's so deep that you kind of lose perspective on the scale of how deep it is. Because the bushes are really tiny down there.
They are. Okay, so that is the Rio Grande Gorge, and that thing is massive. Just standing on the bridge, you could feel the whole thing vibrating as cars drove by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very settling. We didn't walk to the very middle, needless to say.
No.
Yeah, we have to drive across it, so.
Yep, we gotta go drive.
Yep. All right, well, it is currently, my watch is dead. I always
It's
look
currently
at the dead
no
watch.
time.
It's currently no time. I'm hungry. We're gonna head into Taos and grab some dinner. I'm pretty sure it's like 4 o'clock already right now.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. So let's go get something to eat.
Oh yeah, that's super deep.
This is very deep.
This is really good.
This is what's left of the Swiss mushroom burger. We've had an awesome 3 days, and we have just got back to the car after a really filling dinner, and we are now at the end of this video because we are now going to be going home. So I hope you guys look forward to seeing more things like this where we get out and about this summer. I really want to get out and explore the backcountry of New Mexico and all of these little secret little hiding spots that we can find, and just see what all we can discover. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out our Patreon too, because we post some members only exclusive stuff there too. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. We'll see ya.
See you in the next one.
Bye. Done.
I know.